Honorable members will now move on to the next question, question 21. This question is on women in engineering profession. The question is from Honorable Njadu and is directed to the Deputy President. Deputy President.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. Honorable Chairperson, in our work leading the Human Resource Development Council, we have made a long-term commitment to invest in skills and the skills revolution, especially amongst young women, the youth, and also persons with disabilities, in order to build a productive and globally competitive society. On the 25th of September, I had an opportunity to address the UNESCO Africa Engineering Week. At that conference, I interacted with engineer Ms. Refilwe Buthelezi. Ms. Refilwe Buthelezi is actually the president of the Engineering Council of South Africa. The CEO, Dr. Bridget Samula, and many engineers proud of their profession, and they are women. Ms. Buthelezi and her executive briefed me about the need to invest more in developing women. And let me say, Chairperson, that over the past few years, we have noticed growth in female registered with Engineering Council of South Africa. I'm told that in the past it was very difficult for women to register, but that number is increasing now. We have seen an average of about 35% year-on-year growth among registered female engineers in the database of the Council. Currently, there are also 7,000 registered women engineers in the database of the Council. We agreed that there is a need to ensure that we deliberately target women to consider them entering engineering profession and encourage those who are not registered to register. Because sometimes if you complete your degree at the university, you need to take active steps to go and register. So we are encouraging them to do that. Empowering of female engineers is paramount in achieving sustained development and global competitiveness. As government, we are championing the implementation of several women empowerment programs, like, for instance, what we call Women Economic Assembly, WECONA, which was launched by the President in 2021. WECONA is a catalyst platform for women-owned or managed businesses or enterprises anchored on collaboration between the government, the private sector, and civil society. This is an ongoing initiative to encourage women to be economically active, to bring together the private sector, government, civil society, to drive change in the economic landscape. Honorable Chairperson, AgriSeta has identified several priority interventions as well from the Economic Reconstruction and Recovery Plan that speaks to, amongst others, empowering women in the agricultural engineering and agricultural scientists sector. Together with the sector education training authorities, we will simplify the funding application processes to avoid delays in processing funding for third parties, which slows the government efforts to address challenges plaguing the women training sector. While the government continues to implement programs to empower women in the engineering sector, there is a need to address the structural challenges of social and gender equalities hindering their progress. As government, we provide social, political, and economic conditions for women to thrive, especially in critical engineering sectors, with our social partners and businesses. So we do work with the other partners to ensure that we can really strengthen the the support for women training in this particular sector and be able to be placed in particular work opportunities or businesses in this sector. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Thank you. Our first supplementary question comes from Honorable Njadu. Honorable Njadu.
Ndiyabulela Sihlalo. Ngalemva kwemini. Thank you very much, Chairperson. Honorable Deputy President, thank you very much for the reply. For the 3 decades, our democracy has created opportunities for women to be part of all professions, something which never existed during the terrible colonial and apartheid era. However, more still has to be done to further open some of the doors which are still closed for women as part of the ongoing struggle in our country, continent, and the world against the evil system of patriarchy and sexism is ongoing. Deputy President, my question, what role can the education sector play in attracting more women to study and graduate and professionally qualify in technically orientated professions such as engineering, land and quality survey, etc.? Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson.
Deputy President.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member, for the question. Thank you, Chairperson. Yes, I agree with you that we do need to create real opportunities for women to enter this sector. What we are doing at the moment with the Minister of Education, we have stressed this matter that when it comes to the field of science, technology, engineering, mathematics, we want to see more young girls going into that sector to be able to get proper training. There is also a strategy that we have adopted as government called the Integrated National Strategy for Math, Science, Technology, Education. So that strategy is actually emphasizing exactly that we want to see more young women right from primary level going to colleges and universities going into this sector. Historically, we have seen a problem where a lot of young women were not going in big numbers into this sector, but that is now changing. We are seeing a lot of young women taking these subjects. There's something interesting I noticed when it comes to science, maths, and technology. I used to be the chairman of what is called Vincent Shabalala Education Trust, and every year we give bursaries to students who do well in 5 high schools in Alex. And every time when we choose the top 20 students, you'd find that almost 15 of them will be girls. And the results start from distinctions. Say a young woman with 7 distinctions, including in mathematics. So this is now changing in our environment where young women are taking these perceived tough subjects, they are doing them and they are passing them very well. So I would say, Honorable Member, the environment out there is now conducive for young women to get in these sectors, and the education system must allow that to happen. And I can confirm that the Minister of Education is doing exactly that. If you go to our schools now, before you even go to universities, you'll find a lot of young women who are in the STEM sector, doing science, technology, engineering, and mathematics courses. So I agree with you. Let's strengthen it. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Mr. Deputy President. We'll now move on to the second supplementary question from Honorable Detroit.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Deputy President, I'm quoting an article from the Engineering magazine. The South African Institution of Civil Engineering, SAICE, recently published its 2022 infrastructure report card, highlighting a critical shortage of engineering skills in South Africa as one of the key drivers behind the country's crumbling infrastructure. The group says that South Africa, especially in public services, faces a deliberating shortage of engineering skills, noting that the country has lost a shocking number of engineers in the civil sector over the past 20 years. While the country has made strides in transforming the technical sector, seeing an influx of black and female technologists and technicians, this has primarily come at the cost of mainly white male engineers. This trend has disrupted South Africa's skills mix with more technologists and technicians available than engineers, and has deprived new entrants into the engineering field of mentorship and skills transfer, the group said, close quote. Now, with this in mind, Deputy President, would the Deputy President agree that transformation programs doesn't work and must rather be set aside to ensure better and more equal participation by all engineers in the interest of job security and keeping expertise in the country? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Deputy President.
Well, I thought that Honorable Detroit will say that transformation should be fast-tracked rather than done away with. Because if I want to agree with you about shortage, it's true. But when you have shortage, you don't set aside transformation, you fast-track it. We know that, for instance, when I spoke about women, that the number is low. So we agree, but I think other people say it's close to 13% of women. So we're now encouraging more women to go in there. But I think, Honorable Detroit, the gist of your question, if I listen to you well, you are saying that we are discriminating against white male engineers. You're insinuating that. It's not true. Well, you insinuated that we've got this shortage, but there are white male engineers probably overlooked. I don't think that's the case. When I was an MEC for transport in Gauteng, my head of department was a white male engineer. His name is Jack van der Merwe. I have never come across our government discriminating against white males anywhere. But let me tell you what some of them may have done. There was a time when, people who have been in government for long were asked if they want to take packages. So some did, took packages and they left. But we never came in and booted everybody out. So let me conclude it this way, that in South Africa, there is room for white males who are engineers. The doors are open. If they say to you that it's not happening, come and tell me that there's a problem and where we will intervene, because we can't discriminate. That's not how the ANC works. But we need to fast-track transformation to bring more of those who were previously disadvantaged to come in, particularly women. Let's bring them in. But white male engineers, by all means, you are welcome. Come and work with us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We will now move on to the third supplementary question from Honorable Makwala. Honorable Makwala.
Thank you, Chairperson. Greetings to you, Chairperson of the House. Greetings to the members in the House, those ones in virtual like me, and greetings to you, Deputy President of South Africa. Deputy President, I only have 2 questions for you. You will see my questions will be much based in student female. Deputy President, the number of female engineers in workplaces is alarmingly very low. This mainly because the ANC government has failed to inspire young women to invest their time into forging a career in engineering, and there has been a general lack of information for students about how to diverse and fulfill opportunities in engineering. In light of this, my first question, what efforts have been made to ensure that the strategies and policies that are created are beneficial to all women, especially those with marginalized identities, e.g., race, living with disability, sexual orientation? Not just privileged women who tend to benefit more from these efforts. Second question, which form of support and funding initiative have been put in place, especially targeting female students?
Honorable
I'm
Makwala.
done. I'm done, Chairperson.
Honorable Makwala, you only have a right to ask 1 question. So that there's no confusion that creeps in as we move on.
No, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Deputy President.
Thank you, Chairperson. Honorable Makwala, it's not true that it's because of ANC policies that we lack women engineers in this country. It's a historic problem, and that I don't think we should shy away from accepting that it's a historic problem, which the ANC is now undoing through transformation. Where's Honorable Ditoy? Left. So exactly, Honorable Makwala, you are quite right that we need a strategy. I've already said there is a strategy in place. Already, if you look at basic education, more young women are taking STEM subjects. In universities, you now see more young women also taking STEM subjects. So that is happening to deal with this problem that you have correctly identified, that we have fewer women in sectors like engineering where we need them. But it is not true that where women are given support, we are selective. Because you were saying only certain women benefit. No, there's no such. Our women empowerment strategy is for all women of our country. All young women of our country, wherever they are, whether they be in urban or rural areas, they must benefit from these policies that seek to advance their careers, that seek to ensure that they can go into this engineering sector and construction sectors everywhere. And my answer earlier on demonstrated that the Engineering Council of South Africa today, the president is a woman, African woman, same as the CEO. So we are pushing hard to ensure that we open the doors for women of our country to be able to participate everywhere in the economy. And we shall not be selective when we do so as to which women must benefit, these ones can't benefit. No. All of our women of our country must benefit from the good policies of our party and our government. That's what we are doing, Chairperson.
No, thank you very much, David President. The last supplementary question comes from Honorable Professor.
Thank you, Honourable Chair. Deputy President, good afternoon.
Thank you.
In terms of what you have discussed with us now about students, 7,000 students of the Engineering Council and the Human Resource Council, and your transformation training, there is something that happened there, because there's an entity within Public Works called the Council for Built Environment. This entity is tasked with empowerment of previously disadvantaged groups and has specific focus on female engineers. A look at their annual report shows them proudly listing how many followers they have on LinkedIn and other social media platforms, and talking about webinars hosted. They have fewer followers than some of us in this room, in spite of their marketing budget. Deputy President, respectfully, with less than 7% of engineering graduates being women, in spite of this entity's expenditures of their full budget, will you commit to implementing more effective programs and setting better performance measurements that actually measure proper outcomes instead of counting the number of media articles that the department has achieved, but also to consider that people have choices. Ladies have choices to what they study, and we cannot force them into a study course if it's not in their line. Thank you, President.
Deputy President.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Member, you are correct. We shouldn't force people. We motivate them. So when you create opportunities, you remember sometimes children avoid subjects because they think they are difficult. There are various reasons, but you don't force them, but you must create incentives, you must motivate. So in terms of our transformation strategies, it's also to create opportunities, show young people where the opportunities are. So the issue that we have fewer engineers who are women, we all agree on that reality, but we are saying let's change it. And government has started to do so by putting a lot of efforts on the STEM sector, a lot of efforts to ensure that particularly women go in that direction. But they have choices like everybody else. But I think it's important that when young people go and choose what subjects to do, they must find this to be attractive. And they can only find it to be attractive if they hear so, if they get motivated. But if we tell them mathematics is difficult, engineering, don't go there, or you tell them, no, this is for boys, we must stop doing those things and allow young women to go to what has been perceived to be difficult all the years. I've just given you an example of young ladies in Alexander with 7 distinctions, including in mathematics. So already they are breaking the barrier. And ours is to create the opportunity and ensure support for women to take these difficult courses head on. And we're going to see the number beginning to increase. And I think we will, when I was at the engineering summit, we agreed with the with the president of the council that we should help them amass more resources and support, including from the private sector, to be able to bring more and more women into the engineering sector. So we are doing it, Chairperson, and thanks for the question. We will continue to put more support on this one.
Thank you very much.